And we are up at the start now of the Queen Mother Challenge Cup. This is Nottingham Rowing Club and Leander Club. And Adam, maybe you can talk us through what a scull over is, because that's what we're about to watch.
Yeah, people may have been wondering, there's only one crew on the starting blocks here, so what's going on? As you would have heard, there was a call over there, so there was the standard umpires attention go, and I mean they're off the blocks. Probably not as quick as we've seen in the last couple of races, but this is a row over, as you mentioned, so that means that sadly the other crew has had to withdraw from the event. So to progress through the competition, this crew of Nottingham Rowing Club and Leander Club, which is essentially the Great Britain, the British men's senior quad, coached by Paul Stannard, they need to row over the course in order to progress to the next round. Probably not the most nail-biting race to watch, but we are being treated to some international level sculling, which we can enjoy and talk about as they come down the course.
So for those wondering, the rules say that if at any time after the draw a crew should be unable to compete, then the opponent of that crew must row over the course at the appointed time. And then it says in the event of there being but one crew entered for any prize, or if more enter and all but one are unable to compete, the remaining crew must row over the course to be entitled to such prize. So in short, the rules say that this crew must row over the course in order to continue through to the racing tomorrow.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, so you can see a bit more of the furniture of Henley Royal Regatta here as we try and take it all in. So it's great. You can see right behind the crew there, you've got the stake boats, which are really exciting. There, that's where they're like the that's you know, like a runner putting their feet into the clogs. This is sort of where you line the boat up, and you have a great team of people that hold on to the boats for us, and the aligners will make sure the boats are dam level. Exactly level with each other, and then the steerer will be using those orange markers that we talked about earlier, the old lollipops, to line themselves up without having to crane round and look down towards the church to try and pick their mark. They use that to line up off, and that's what the steersmen will be using as they go down the course to stay on station. And then when that gets out of sight, they'll use the booms along the side that they're on. They'll try and use that as a guide to keep their distance and steer off. We've seen with quite a lot of the races today, the wind has been blowing people around, so it's clearly it is a challenge today. Not so much of a challenge for this crew, as they don't have an opponent to worry about. But I do remember Matt Pinton was raising an interesting discussion around how you might get disqualified from a row over, which is the risk. But I think they'd have to do something very extreme to be disqualified in this instance.
That'd be a very unfortunate situation to be disqualified from a row over. But a great shot there, as you say, Adam, looking down the course at the back of this crew.
So yeah, lots going on here. Taking a leisurely row over here as they come up to the sort of barrier marker here. But yeah, this is great. This is great to see this crew rowing along. Actually, you don't often get to see them just paddle and really just sling the boat along at a lower rate, and just the quality of sculling at low rate, and how it would be ready when we gear up for tomorrow's big race, which will either be against the Polish or the Canadian crew. This GB quad are really exciting. You know, there's been so much development in British sculling over the years, and these guys are part of that wave that's been created all the way back off the coach that was leading this work, Mark Earnshaw, pre-2013, and ever since Paul Stannard has taken over. British sculling has just got better and better, and these guys are the next generation of it, and it's exciting to see them here rowing down the course. And God, looking forward to tomorrow's race. That would be so exciting to see them up against the Polish crew, who have been dominating the international field, and the Canadian crew, which are also, or could be the Canadian crew if they get through this afternoon.
So this crew is comprised of Callum Dixon in the bow seat, George Byrne, Matthew Haywood and Tom Barris in the stroke seat. They'd just be using this as a training opportunity, having a run down the track, maybe getting some nerves out. You can see that the rate is down relatively low. Perhaps they're even doing a step rate down the course here, where they might at different sections of the course step the rate up. We might see them do a little burst of speed. We won't get too presumptive and excited, but we might see them put on a little squirt into the finish to give the crowd a bit of a thrill, a bit of a race to watch.
They might do a bit of a crowd pleaser for us. You never know. They might do some funky stuff or some, I don't know. Hopefully no showboating, but I mean, yeah, they might give us a bit of a squeeze, right? But looks like they're just rehearsing and they're mentally putting themselves in the race for tomorrow, because it's going to be a big one. So this is a really good opportunity for them to do that, familiarise themselves with the track and run down that course, calling out the markers, just being really relaxed with each other and just getting used to the water and the conditions here, really.
And as you said, this crew coached by Paul Stannard. 2023 European Rowing Championships, they placed 4th at the World Championships last year, winning a silver medal. So very much a medal favourite crew for Great Britain as they're in this significant rebuilding phase after Tokyo in the lead up to Paris. A wonderfully successful World Championships last year in the Czech Republic for Great Britain, but all important Olympic qualification ahead at the World Championships in Serbia in September.
Yeah, I mean, as we said earlier, the quad sculling has been so exciting, and these guys are progressing so well through this season already. I mean, building on last year's silver medal at the championships, or even going back to the previous generation of guys rowing the quad, you know, for this campaign of this boat class, silver at Tokyo was fantastic. So it'd be amazing if just possibly, you know, Paris could it be the top spot. That's what we're all keeping our fingers crossed. This is the boat class that Britain is beginning to stamp a claim on. You know, this is great. So watching these athletes is a real treat today. Just picking up on conditions and having that all-round watermanship and being able to handle any conditions. Just Matthew Hayward is pretty handy in the single scull when he. There's a race in London called the Wingfield Sculls, which is very much like the Oxford Cambridge boat race, but in singles and an open to any club to enter. And Matthew won that a few years back, and that was phenomenal because the conditions there can be so variable. You're dealing with the tidal Thames and wind hitting you from all angles. So, you know, they have that experience on board, and so hopefully things like today won't faze them in the slightest.
So coming down to the line in our commentary position here. You can hear the crowd showing their appreciation.
Here they are taking big odd strides down the course, aren't they? Gliding with every stroke.